What a move by Howie Roseman! Whoa! Yo, everybody, how you doing? So, today I want to talk about the greatest defense that I've ever seen. The 1991 Philadelphia Eagles. Recently, Football Outsiders ranked them the number one defense in the last 30 years. To me, I'm very happy about this because I always thought that they never got the respect, the admiration that they deserved. Because they didn't win anything, because they didn't make the playoffs, they have been almost forgotten from history when it talk about people, the league, and that kind of thing. You never hear them get the credit. You hear about Seattle, and you hear about Baltimore, and you hear about all these defenses, but I've never seen a defense more dominant, more great than this Philadelphia Eagles defense in 1991. I was 16 years old, and I'll never forget when Randall Cunningham got hurt. You thought the whole season was over. Then McMahon comes in, he gets hurt. Then they have Pat Ryan comes in, and he gets hurt. Then you have this guy, I think his name was Jeff Kemp, Jeff Kemp, and he gets hurt. And they just stunk, and they couldn't move the ball, they couldn't score. And this is a team that was going up against the world champion Redskins. I think they were 14-2 that year. They won the Super Bowl. The Giants were good. Giants were 11-5, and the Eagles were 10-6. The Eagles didn't make the playoffs at 10-6. Okay, they had to go play teams like Warren Moon and the Houston Oilers, where they had the run and shoot and Hall of Fame quarterback, and they shut them down. And I have no doubt that defense today would shut teams today down. They would shut them down. You had Reggie White on the defensive line, Mike Pitts, Clyde Simmons, Jerome Brown in the middle. Then you had rotating guys in like Mike Golick on the line. Then you had Byron Evans, the most underrated middle linebacker, Seth Joyner and Jesse Small. And then you had, at the corners, you had Eric Allen and Ben Smith. And then you had Isaiah Jenkins and Otis Smith would be nickel and dime corners. Then you had Wes Hopkins and Andre Ward, and they were nasty, man. They would make you feel pain. They scared defenses, they intimidated them, and they dominated. And I'm telling you, you would see teams have time of possession 38, 40 minutes against this defense because the offense couldn't stay on the field and teams couldn't score on them. They couldn't score on them. And they're the most dominant defense I've ever seen, even over the 85 Bears. And Buddy Ryan was gone at this point. He built it, but Hall of Fame defensive coordinator Bud Carson came in and took over. And when he took over, what he added and what he got this team to play, they were total defense. I mean, they were number one against the run, against the pass, in total defense. They're amazing. It was the most amazing thing. And that's why I probably am the way I am when it comes to guys like Brandon Graham and that kind of thing. Because these are the guys that set my standards for what I see in defenses. Forget that 04 defense when we went to the Super Bowl. They had nothing on this defense. I've never seen anything like it. Let me go over some of their statistics. So, total yards allowed was 221 yards a game. 150 yards per game against the pass. So teams were only average of 150 passing yards against them. 71 rushing yards allowed per game on average. They only allowed 4 rushing touchdowns the whole year. 4. Teams averaged little less than 3 yards a carry against them. Less than 3. It was 2.9 something. Then they had 55 sacks, 48 turnovers, 43 forced fumbles, and teams couldn't move the ball. They couldn't move the ball in this team. They were dominant. And I'm so glad that Football Outsiders, much respect to you for giving the greatest defense I've ever seen some props and some credit, because they deserve it. And if you ever get a chance, I know a lot of you guys never got a chance to see this, go watch it. Go watch the House of Pain game. Go watch the body bag game. This was a defense that was dominant. And it's hard for me to go and say, oh, this guy had 5.5 sacks. I really like him a lot. When I saw Reggie White and Clyde Simmons, You know, when Fletcher Cox has 7 sacks a year, he plays okay, and I think of Jerome Brown getting double-digit sacks. Couldn't stop this team. They sent 5 guys to the Pro Bowl that year. Clyde, Jerome Brown, Reggie White, Eric Allen, and Seth Joyner. I mean, that's ridiculous and unheard of. So, thank you, Football Outsiders, for honoring and ranking them where they belong, number 1. Take care, talk to you later, and don't be a dingbat.